Okay, so we are back, and today's video is a very, very fun one. In fact, fun is the key word when you add on another NY, which is the location for the funniest interview I've seen in a long time in the combat sports arena, and it was done by none other than Ariel Helwani and Dillon Danis. And everything came up in this interview. Beef between Ariel and Dillon, KSI, Logan, Jake, Nate Diaz, the entire MMA community, Dillon's net worth, the bag he's getting for this fight, his knee injury, and more. So like I said, let's get into what is essentially Dillon Danis and Ariel Helwani standing in someone's backyard on a Sunday with a pig on a stick, open flames, a marshmallow, graham crackers, and chocolate. In other words, these two had a good old-fashioned roast. But who came out the winner? The breakdown. Let's go.
How are you, my friend?
I don't think we should shake yet until the end. What do you think?
Look, come on.
Don't be. Until the end.
You're not going to shake my hand.
Unless you apologize.
Shake my hand? Come on,
after,
Doug.
After.
You're not going to shake my hand?
After.
Wow, what a bitch move.
We're not even 30 seconds in. This is an hour-long video. Oh my God. Something I've noticed about Ariel, especially since he left ESPN, he gives zero about what anyone thinks, and he's being honest, but he's also not taking shit anymore. The fact that he just looks at Dillon and says, what a move to not shake my hand, is something you would have never heard him do before. I like the energy from both guys. I just think Dillon's playing a character and Ariel's just not having it. He's like, you're a bitch.
Why did I call you that first time? I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
Of course you don't remember.
No.
I tweeted that there was a picture of Jake and Drake, and I said that was a big dub.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. And I'm pretty sure in the picture that Jake took with Drake, it looks like he is on a different planet. I'm talking zooted. Whatever drugs he was on in that picture looked like it gave him a spidey sense. Like his pupils were dilated, but so were the hair follicles on his head. I've never seen what's left of his hair stand up any higher in my life.
Yeah.
And you said, Ariel, stop being a bitch.
Yeah, because now you're kind of like with them, you know?
What do you mean with them? Calling their fights?
No, yeah, well, they hired you now. You're just like part of their employees.
Not quite how it works, but all right.
No, I work for Showtime.
Come on.
What do you mean? What, do you want to see my...
I'm just saying your bread is buttered with Jake now.
Listen, I'm going to have to come to Ariel's defense once again. Dillon's flat wrong here. And I know this because I'm in a similar situation. Everyone that disagrees with any opinion I have on fights, for example, the fact that I think Dillon is more competitive in this fight with KSI than a lot of people want to give him credit for, immediately spout out fucking bullshit takes that aren't true, like,
oh, Wade, you're paid by KSI. You're on the payroll. Of course you're going to say that.
Just like what Dillon says to Ariel here, it's not fucking true. Ariel is employed by Showtime to cover Jake's fights. That means interviews, press conferences. I think he's been on commentary for those fights as well. This does not mean that Ariel has some sort of bias to Jake. He does the job he's asked, and when he's on the show for Vox Media, where he gets to be himself more, he is more opinionated. And I can't believe I have to say this, but that's exactly the case with me as well, except I get to do this on my own channel. So when I'm here, I give you guys exactly what I'm thinking, 100%, no bias, no influence, no nothing. That's never been the case. And trust me, people have tried. But again, just like Ariel is not employed by Most Valuable Promotions, I am not employed by Misfits. I'm employed by DAZN. And just like with Ariel on Showtime, when I'm on DAZN, I'm doing that job. It's about giving the fighters, the most important people on the card, the biggest spotlight possible to allow them to grow into this scene. So the next time any of you guys want to toss that bullshit narrative out, just play this segment on repeat so I can body that argument over and over. It's what I love doing.
By the way, you call me a friend. What kind of friend talks about someone like that?
Dude, you said way worse than that. That was like
What did I say? Tell me what I said.
I don't remember. There was some
No,
other
you
stuff
can't. You can't say I said way worse and not.
That was a meme, and then you got mad because I called you Dick Nose. Like, come on.
Now you're trying to... How did you go from this like incredible, you know, talent in the world of BJJ to this guy who hasn't fought since 2019?
Well, I had a bad knee injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. I mean, you wouldn't know that because you never done anything athletic, but...
Sure.
Dude, Dillon's got some decent one-liners, okay?
How long ago was that? We're approaching 4 years.
So, you know, you never asked me what happened. So I had the knee surgery.
Yeah.
And my graft failed, like completely failed. So I had to get another surgery, which is another year. So basically 2 surgeries within a year. They says like being in 2 car accidents.
Dillon coming off a repeat ACL surgery after having the first one fail. It does explain why Dillon had to take at least a couple of years off. ACL's just recovering from one. Depending on how bad the tear is and how well the graft works, it's like 9 months to a year. So 2 of them, you're looking at around 2 years.
I'm still the most relevant 2-0, and I'm about to make the biggest bag of anybody in MMA.
How much you get paid?
I'm not going to say, but it's way more than anybody.
Tell us the truth. Then it's another lie. I have to put it...
No, but once it comes out, then you could see. Any UFC champion right now.
He might not be lying about that because let's just take into account what we've seen for purses in the influencer boxing scene. I'm pretty sure it got leaked that Swarms made about $350,000 to fight KSI. So Dillon, with a far bigger name in the fight scene and a more dangerous and realistic competition for KSI, I wouldn't doubt it if he's making $500,000 here. And if he is, he would be correct in saying he's making more than most MMA fighters, which is a bit of a sad fucking thing for MMA.
Why are people saying you're not going to show up?
Why wouldn't I show up? It's the stupidest thing ever.
Well, you didn't show up to the press conference.
Yeah, because they want me to beat to like walk to their drum. That
it's a press conference. Who cares?
No, I'm gonna go to London for one day when I'm sick.
Well,
and
at least come.
Stupid.
Are you sick right now?
No, I mean I'm a little.
Jesus, you have COVID?
You're a germaphobe, aren't you?
Yeah. What do you got? Gonorrhea?
How's it going?
What Dillon says about the whole KSI press conference thing is kind of exactly what I've been telling you guys. In his mind, him going to London ceded all control to KSI and the promotion, and he just wasn't going to play their game. Mind games at its finest, and barring something fucking crazy happening, he'll be there on fight week.
You got to sell the fight.
Yeah, of course. Everybody sold it. Who sold this fight the most?
Don't
fucking lie. The most you heard about this fight is all the shit I done. I was trending number 3 on Twitter in the whole world after that whole coffee thing.
Hey, hold on a second now, man. He's not wrong. Think about the most impactful things that have been going on as far as the pre-fight build between these two. Yes, KSI did the press conference, but view for view, Dillon has created the most hype in any situation he's been in. 1, throwing the coffee at KSI. 2, getting his shit rocked by Anthony Taylor. Granted, not the way he wanted that to go, but still, massive views on both those things. And you also add what I think was a trolling session of him hitting mitts on Twitter, plus this interview with Ariel. View for view and interactions on all socials. Fair play to Dillon. He might actually be right.
What happened with Anthony Taylor?
Dude, that's... he's a fucking loser. I didn't even know who it was, to be honest with you. I thought it was a homeless guy. He was chirping, like yelling.
Where are you? What do we have?
We go to a court. This guy's screaming, like, you won't hurt my friend KSI. I was like, oh, what the hell?
Where were you guys?
Bro, this guy Dillon's stupid. I swear to God, he's stupid.
I think a lot of people didn't see it. Do we have it?
We're going to watch it right now.
No, just for the audience.
Pretty sure they've seen it. Anybody wants to
Okay, here we go. So which one is...
Dang.
That's Anthony?
Wait, let me get my knockout in there, too.
Okay.
Put my knockout in there.
What would have happened...
Dillon just said, put my knockout in there? The fuck is he talking about, his knockout?
What is this? Jesus
Oh, we
Christ.
gotta get a little bit.
What is going on here,
There you
Frank?
go.
What is this?
I don't know what's going on.
Watch his KO. Boom.
Oh, wait. Wait, play it again.
To be fair to Dillon, though, like, I know Ariel's taking the piss, like, oh, what happens if that truck isn't there? He got hit with a fucking bomb. I'm just saying, Dillon's got a fucking chin.
How do you feel about your boxing, skills? Because obviously you grew up as a jiu-jitsu guy.
I'm more of like a Ariel Gotti. I would say.
Yeah. I saw your clip of hitting the pads.
You like that?
I mean,
Well, you never boxed.
I feel pretty confident that I could hit pads better than you.
Okay, first off, Dillon said I'm more like Arturo Gatti, and this is in no way a legitimate comparison. They called Arturo Gatti Thunder back in the day. He cracked guys, but I will say I can understand Dillon saying I want to fight like Arturo Gatti, by meaning he wants to stick his nose in there, get inside, throw shots in there, work shots to the body. That would make sense, but to say he fights like Arturo Gatti is fucking crazy. And then the whole boxing skills thing on Twitter, I think Dillon was trolling with you guys. Everything that you guys are seeing from Dillon, he wants you to see. So that means either he thought it looked great, which in this case, I highly doubt, or he is trying to pull that wool over your eyes once again.
If you look at anybody's record for their second fight, Ben Askren had a guy that was 0-5. Like, these guys are terrible. My guy, at least, was a winning record.
Yeah, but the difference is you talk a big game and you say X, Y, and Z.
I'm still here. I'll still fight anybody.
Yeah.
I'll fight Patty right now. I'll fight any of those guys.
Why does it feel like Scott...
I'll fight this kid, too. This is the kid that just fought, the 18-year-old, right?
No, I can't watch any more of this. I can't watch anymore. Okay, so two things just happened here. Dillon is either the biggest asshole on the planet Earth, or he genuinely thinks that picture on the wall that he pointed to is Raul Rosas Jr. I think he's like the youngest fighter in UFC history. He just fought a couple weeks ago. He could have genuinely thought that was the picture, but it's not. It's actually a women's MMA fighter named Verna Janjanova. Genius with his words and also a massive asshole.
I was supposed to do Misfits boxing.
Where?
Yeah.
Well, you got Jake on your...
True. 100%.
I was pretty much at the goal line.
Yeah?
But then I heard they were signing people like you, and I was like, it's the actual truth.
The Zone and Misfits both told me that Ariel was slated to be on Misfits #1. I don't know what happened and why he didn't show up. Ariel not being there actually probably gave me a job. So, hey, man to man, nose to nose, I appreciate you, my brother.
What happened with Jake Paul? Why haven't you fought him?
I I thought about this before. We were supposed to fight so many times, and then he just.
Why?
Because
you were
50.
unhealthy.
I'm not 50. I asked for 2 months extra because I had a knee surgery.
Oh,
I mean, good for him, because if it would have been me instead of Ben Askren, he would never done this whole thing.
I don't know about that. Now, I do think Dillon, if he was healthy, at the time they would have fought, would have been far better competition than Ben Askren was, but Dillon having no boxing experience and not having years to train it like he does now for KSI, I still think confidently Jake would have beat him back then.
You treat everyone like shit. You're disrespectful to everyone in the community. The only one you've not been disrespectful towards is Connor.
That's not true. I give people their props. I mean, props.
Props or props?
Props.
You a farmer now? Farmers only? Who do you give props to?
How does Ariel know about Farmers Only? That's supposed to be my website.
Maybe this is the fight that gets you, Jake.
It was supposed to be guaranteed when I beat Logan. It was in the contract that they wanted Jake.
Really? So if I heard that correctly, Dillon said it was guaranteed that he would get Jake should he beat Logan. How the would they put that in a contract? One, Misfits and DAZN don't control shit that Jake does. And two, why would they give Dillon to Jake if that was a possibility of getting Jake to come and fight on a co-promotion with Misfits and DAZN instead of giving Jake to KSI? I don't know who guaranteed what to him, but that didn't make any sense at all.
I'm going to hurt KSI bad, dude. Like, they're going to see.
How many rounds?
6. I want 10. KSI's like, I'm a fucking cardio machine, dude.
We get an answer there. 6 rounds. I thought they would go a little more, but I'll take 6.
I'd rather be 10 rounds, 12 rounds.
Sure.
Let's do it. I'm going to break it.
Is it?
The way that Dillon answered that question, I want it to be 10 rounds, 12. I'm going to break him. I've told you guys this already. I know what Dillon is coming into this fight to do. You should by now as well. He is going to try to put pressure on KSI the entirety of the fight. I think he's banking on the fact that KSI's technique and gas tank will let him down, and Dillon will still have relatively something left in the tank.
You said that you had evidence that Jake's fights are rigged.
I can show it to you.
But there's someone.
I don't want to say the name because the guy's, I mean,
that you like?
He only had a previous trainer that everybody can kind of put 2 and 2 together.
Okay, here we go with this again. Dillon is claiming Jake's fights are rigged, and he said one of his previous coaches told him. And Jake's only had 2 previous coaches, Milton and Shane Mosley, but Jake only fought with Milton on the same event Logan and KSI did, so he's can't be saying that Jake rigged that fight. He must be talking about the Gibb fight, and he must be talking about Shane Mosley.
He doesn't want to get involved in that because it could be like, some
Shane Mosley?
I'm not going to say yes or no. I mean,
why?
You got an earpiece?
No, I got nothing. I'm just trying to think of who Jake has trained with. Okay, so it is Shane Mosley.
I'm not going to get
He doesn't want the...
What? Ariel goes, Shane Mosley, and Dillon says, yeah. And he goes, okay, so it is Shane Mosley. Dillon's like, I'm not going to get into this. This is above me. I'm not getting into it. What? You just confirmed it.
How would this guy know?
He trained them for a couple of the first fights, and he knows how Jake operates. Like, Jake won't fight someone unless he knows he's going to win, or if they have a handicap, or they have, it's a whole thing.
What does this even mean? I understand he doesn't want to rat anyone out, even though he just said Shane Mosley's name live on Ariel's show, so the cat's kind of out of the fucking bag there, but you can't say things like, I have 100% proof, and then never show that proof, because then you're the boy that cried wolf, and we don't believe you.
Come on.
I could show you it so you know I'm not lying.
I have the receipts.
Okay, but I'll show you so you know I'm not lying.
No,
Let's see it.
I swear, you read them out loud. I'm not going to,
Hold on a second. Hold on a flippin' second here. Isn't it crazy how when I put these on, you guys can see the reflection of what I'm looking at? And I don't have the technology to enhance this like I'm on a fucking NCIS Miami episode, but if there was a way to see what he's reading right now, if that is the message that contains all this Jake Paul fixed fight rigged evidence, someone in the ethos out there screen grab this and enhance it, because that might be the smoking fucking gun.
Who are you training with?
Right now, I just train around different gyms. Yeah.
You don't have a home?
No, not right now.
You don't have like a main head coach?
No.
Who's going to be your guy?
I coach myself. I don't need help for KSI.
You're not going to have a corner?
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
Come on.
Dude, KSI is not
Can't
good.
be that disliked.
I want to believe Dillon's trolling here too, but I actually think he's serious. I actually think he hasn't hooked up with a boxing coach. And how many times have we seen the MMA guys or guys from other communities come into boxing, the influencers, and go, I'm a better athlete, I'm a fighter, I don't even need to go and find a big boxing coach or be at a gym, I just gotta train like I always have, and I'm gonna smoke this fool. KSI might not be the best boxer in the world, but he's been training boxing longer than you have, he's been in more boxing fights than you have, he has more experience than you do in this sport. It's not a good idea to take him lightly.
You know, there's only two kinds of people who wear sunglasses indoors.
Okay, let's hear it.
Blind people and fucking assholes. Sunglasses.
Same shit.
Oh my God, I can't think of a better way to end this off than that right there, folks. All right, so there it is, man. A legendary interview in the books. Listen, we did learn a lot here. We learned that Dillon and KSI are going to go 6 rounds, 3 minutes each. We learned he was supposed to fight Logan, which I think most of us already knew. We learned potentially Dillon has some secret evidence that Jake Paul is still rigging fights, which I think without public evidence and not just, hey, I got it on my phone, I promise I'll show you, is complete fucking bullshit. And we learned a little bit about Dillon himself, which is kind of cool, right? His rehab from ACL surgery twice does show his mental fortitude to even come back from something like that. But if we're talking about who won this back and forth between the two bitter rivals, I think we all know that Ariel hit it right on the nose. Come on, man. It was Ariel easily 10-7 once again. The belt and the props stay with Helwani. That's my choice. You guys let me know down below who won this thing. What'd you think of Dillon's interview? And is Dillon starting to carry the promotion for this event, and will that affect his actual preparation for it? I don't have those answers yet, but on January 14th in London, guess we'll find out.